Hi guys, what's up today? I hope you're comfortable right now. Maybe you're lying down, maybe the lights are already low, maybe the world around you is finally quiet. Tonight, you don't need to think about tomorrow. You don't need to solve anything. You don't need to hurry anywhere. Tonight, I'm going to tell you a very simple story. Nothing dramatic, nothing loud, nothing urgent. Just a normal day in ancient Rome. Not the Rome of wars and emperors shouting orders. Not the Rome of grand speeches or famous battles. This is a quiet Rome, a Rome that wakes slowly, a Rome where ordinary people live ordinary lives, one gentle moment at a time. As you listen, let your breathing slow down, let your shoulders relax. If your mind wanders, that's okay. Just gently return to the sound of the story. This story isn't meant to be remembered. It's meant to be felt and slowly forgotten as sleep begins to take over. So take a deep breath in and let it go. Now let's step into Rome on a very normal day. It is before dawn in Rome. The sky is still dark, not black, just a deep, soft blue, like it is thinking about waking up but not ready yet. The city feels paused. Stone buildings sit quietly, stacked close together, holding onto yesterday's warmth. Narrow streets twist and bend, empty for once, like they are enjoying the peace. This is Rome without shouting, without crowds, without opinions. Just Rome breathing slowly, half asleep, not judging anyone yet. Oil lamps flicker along the streets. Their light is small and a little shaky, like they are tired too. Flames dance behind thin glass, throwing soft shadows on the walls. Columns and doorways stretch and shrink as the light moves. Nothing is sharp. Everything feels rounded, calm, forgiving. If cities could yawn, Rome would be doing that right now, stretching its old stone bones after a long night. The streets are narrow, really narrow, the kind where two carts would argue if they met. Stone blocks underfoot are uneven, worn smooth by thousands of years of sandals, boots, and bad decisions. Doorways are dark. Windows are shut tight. Most people are still asleep inside, wrapped in blankets, dreaming of bread, wine, or maybe not working today. The city smells faintly of smoke, old water, and yesterday's food. Not bad, just honest. Sound travels far at this hour. A cart creaks somewhere in the distance, slow and patient. You hear it before you see it, and then it fades again. Footsteps echo, one pair at a time, never rushed. A dog barks once, then decides it is too early for drama and goes quiet. Night guards murmur to each other as they walk, spears tapping stone. Even their voices sound softer, like they do not want to wake the buildings. Most of Rome is asleep, but not all of it. Some people are always awake. Bakers are already at work because bread waits for no one. Behind thick walls, fires are lit, dough is kneaded, and arms already feel tired. Slaves move quietly through houses, starting chores before their owners stir. Watchmen finish their rounds, counting the hours until they can rest. These people know this version of Rome well. It belongs to them. This early hour has its own rules. No crowds, no speeches, no one trying to sell you something you do not need. The city feels smaller, almost friendly. You could walk for a long time and not be bothered. Even the statues seem less serious in the dark, like they relax when no one is watching. A marble hero looks less heroic when he is half hidden in shadow, just standing there, cold, waiting for the sun. Rome is a massive city even now. Hundreds of thousands of people live packed together, stacked in apartments, villas, and rooms barely big enough to turn around in. During the day, it is loud and busy and sometimes overwhelming. But at night, and especially before dawn, all of that energy is folded away. The city becomes one quiet thing instead of many noisy ones. It is easier to understand Rome like this. Daily life runs on rhythm here. Wake, work, eat, argue, sleep, repeat. Most people will rise with the sun or shortly after. Shops will open, streets will fill. Voices will climb over each other like children racing. But right now, none of that has started. This is the deep breath before the day, the pause between one life and the next. If Rome had a snooze button, this would be it. Look east, just above the rooftops. The darkness is changing, very slowly. You almost miss it. The sky grows lighter, not brighter, just softer. Colors shift from deep blue to something closer to gray. The lamps still burn, but they feel less important now. The horizon is getting ready. The sun is not here yet, but it is clearly on the way, like a guest who is always late but never surprises anyone. A chill hangs in the air. Stone holds the night cold and it presses gently against your skin. It is not unpleasant. It keeps you awake just enough. Somewhere water drips. Somewhere else a door opens and closes carefully. Life is starting to stir, but it is still polite about it. No rushing, no noise, just small movements one at a time. This is Rome before it remembers itself, before power, pride, and politics kick in, before the crowds claim the streets. In this moment the city is calm, almost humble, an ancient giant lying still, wrapped in shadow, waiting for the first touch of light. Stay here for a bit. Listen. Breathe. Dawn is coming, but there is no need to hurry. The sun rises slowly over Rome. It does not rush. It takes its time, climbing up from behind the 7 hills like it has done 1,000 times before, maybe more. First comes a thin line of light, pale and careful. Then color follows. Soft gold spills across rooftops, catching on tiles, walls, and temple steps. Shadows stretch, then slowly pull back like they are being called home. The 7 hills wake one by one. The Palatine catches the light early, proud as always. The Aventine follows, quieter, more reserved. The Capitoline glows next, watching over the city like it always does. Each hill takes its turn as if they have an agreement with the sun. Together they hold Rome up, and every morning they remind it where it stands. For Romans, the sun is more than just light. It is the clock. Time here is not counted in minutes the way we know them. It is counted in movement, in shadows, in light and dark. When the sun rises, the day begins. When it stands high, work is in full swing. When it sinks, people know it is time to slow down, eat, and rest. Simple, honest, hard to argue with. Sundials sit in public spaces, carved from stone, their shadows creeping along curved lines. They only work when the sun shows up, which feels fair. No sun, no schedule. Water clocks tick quietly indoors, dripping drop by drop, marking time for courts, meetings, or anyone who really needs to know. But most people do not check the hour, they feel it. The body knows when it is time to move. Daylight matters because daylight is safety. It is work, it is money. Rome runs on sunlight. Without it, shops close, courts pause, and travel slows. Torches and lamps help, but they are no match for the sun. So when morning comes, people welcome it, even if they are tired, even if they would rather stay in bed. The day waits for no one, especially not in Rome. The weather plays its part too. It always does. Summer mornings are warm early, pushing people to start work fast before the heat settles in. Winter mornings bite a little, making hands stiff and breath visible. Spring feels gentle, full of promise. Autumn smells like dust and change. Romans know their seasons well. The calendar is written in the sky, not just on tablets. Rain changes everything. Streets grow slick. Traffic slows, tempers rise, heat changes it too. At midday in summer, the city almost shuts down. People retreat indoors. Shadows become valuable. But right now, in this early morning light, the weather feels balanced. Not too hot, not too cold, just enough to remind you that you are alive and awake. As the sun climbs higher, the city begins to stir. Shutters creak open one by one. Wooden panels swing outward, letting light spill into dark rooms. Faces appear briefly at windows, blinking, judging the day. Someone coughs. Someone laughs too loudly. A voice calls down to the street, asking a question that does not need an answer. Rome is waking up, and it is not quiet about it anymore. Footsteps multiply, not just one pair now, but many. Sandals slap against stone. Carts roll in from the edges of the city, wheels clattering like they have something important to say. Vendors start setting up, laying out goods with practiced hands. The smell of bread grows stronger, richer. It drifts through the streets, impossible to ignore. Even the sleepiest Roman knows that smell means morning is real now. Voices rise and overlap. Conversations start without greetings. Arguments begin where yesterday's left off. Children run ahead of parents, full of energy, dodging carts and dogs. Somewhere a door slams. Somewhere else someone is already late. The calm of before dawn fades, replaced by movement and sound. Not chaos yet, but it is coming. The sun now sits fully above the rooftops. Light fills the narrow streets, bouncing between walls. Colors sharpen. Stone looks warmer. Statues regain their seriousness. Rome remembers itself. This is the city people know. Loud, busy, alive. The quiet version has slipped away, replaced by one that demands attention. Still, there is beauty in this moment, the transition, the shift from night to day, from silence to noise. It happens every morning, and yet it never feels old. The sun keeps rising, people keep moving, the hills keep watching. Rome keeps being Rome, and the day, like always, has officially begun. Morning in Rome does not begin the same way for everyone. It depends on where you sleep, how much money you have, and how many other people are sleeping very close to you. Still, the basics are familiar. Eyes open. Body complains. Another day has started whether you asked for it or not. In the crowded apartment buildings, the instantly waking up is a group activity. These buildings rise several stories high, packed tight with families, workers, and anyone else who found space. Rooms are small, walls are thin. If your neighbor wakes up, you probably wake up too. If someone drops something upstairs, everyone knows about it. Privacy is more of a suggestion than a rule. People sleep on simple wooden beds or sometimes just mats laid on the floor. A blanket if you are lucky, a cloak if you are not. Entire families share rooms. Children, parents, sometimes grandparents, all breathing the same air. You wake to coughing, shifting, quiet arguments, and the sound of the street already alive below. The day does not wait for comfort. In wealthier homes, the domus, mornings feel different. Space exists. Rooms open into a central courtyard where light and air flow in. Beds are still simple by modern standards, but they are real beds, often raised, sometimes with woven supports. Slaves sleep nearby, always within reach. The house wakes gradually, like it has manners. No one hits a snooze button. There is no alarm clock screaming at you. Time is felt, not announced. Light creeping into the room, sounds outside growing louder. The body knows when it is time, or a slave does, which is also effective. Washing comes next, though it looks different than what we are used to. There is no hot shower waiting, no scented soap. Romans wash with water, oil, and effort. A basin is brought out. Water is poured. Oil is rubbed onto the skin, then scraped off with a tool called a strigil. Dirt, sweat, and yesterday come away together. It works even if it feels strange. This happens quickly in poorer homes, a splash of water on the face. Hands cleaned, done. In richer houses, washing is slower, more careful. Someone else pours the water, someone else holds the basin. You just stand there and exist. Luxury is mostly about not doing things yourself. Teeth get attention too, though not with minty paste. People use cloth, sticks, or powders. It is not glamorous, but it is better than nothing. Hair is smoothed down, tied back, or left alone if the day does not feel important. Mirrors exist, but they are metal and not very forgiving. You see the general idea of yourself and move on. Then comes clothing. Simple, practical, familiar. The tunic goes on first. It is a long shirt, usually wool or linen, pulled over the head. Men wear shorter ones, women longer. Belts gather the fabric at the waist because shape is optional otherwise. The tunic is the base of everything. Without it, you are not dressed and everyone will notice. Women may add a stola over the tunic, a longer garment that signals status and respectability. It drapes, it flows, it looks good when standing still. Movement is another story. Men might add a cloak if the weather asks for it. Sandals go on last. Leather soles, straps tied up the ankle. They are simple and they work. Mostly. In richer homes, slaves handle much of this. Clothes are laid out, belts are adjusted, sandals are handed over. You lift a foot, they do the rest. It is efficient, if a little awkward when you think about it too much. Slaves are part of the morning rhythm, moving quietly, already awake long before anyone important. In poorer homes, everyone helps themselves. Children fumble with belts. Someone cannot find a sandal, someone else already took it. Arguments happen. Voices rise. Then the door opens and the street pulls everyone forward. The house empties quickly because staying means wasting daylight. Breakfast is light or skipped entirely. A bit of bread, maybe fruit, sometimes nothing. The real meal comes later. Mornings are for movement, not sitting around thinking about food. Bakers are already busy and the smell of bread reminds everyone that eating will happen eventually. No need to panic. Homes themselves are busy now. Doors open. Courtyards fill with light. In the domus, the master may prepare to receive visitors. Clients will arrive soon and appearances matter. In the insulae, people spill out into the streets, locking doors that barely hold. The home is left behind until night pulls everyone back in again. Despite the differences, the feeling is shared. The day is starting. The body is awake enough. Clothes are on. The city is calling. Whether you step out with confidence or just obligation, you step out all the same. Rome does not care how you slept. It just cares that you are up. Morning routines in Rome are not soft or slow. They are practical, efficient. A little rough around the edges, but they work. They have worked for generations. People wake, wash, dress, and move forward every single day. And as doors close behind them, the city absorbs them into its flow, ready to use their energy until the sun says otherwise. Breakfast in Rome is called intaculum. It is not fancy. It does not try to impress anyone. It exists for one simple reason: to get you through the morning without falling over. That is it. No plates stacked high. No long sitting. Just enough food to say, yes, I ate, now let us move on. The smell of bread leads the way. Fresh bread, warm bread, bread that makes you forgive the day for starting so early. Bakeries are already busy, ovens glowing, loaves lined up like they know they are important. People stop on their way to work, coins ready, half awake but very serious about this purchase. Bread is the base of everything. Without it, breakfast feels unfinished. Most breakfasts are simple. A piece of bread may be dipped in water or wine if it is dry, olives if there are any left from yesterday. A bit of cheese, salty and firm, the kind that keeps well and does not complain about being stored too long. Fruit shows up when it is in season. Figs, apples, grapes, nothing fancy, nothing cooked. Rome does not do effort this early. Honey is the treat. Not for everyone, but when it appears, it feels special. A drizzle over bread, sticky and sweet, catching the light. It wakes the mouth up fast. Even a bad morning improves slightly with honey involved. Romans know this. They respect it. Poorer Romans eat standing or walking. There is no time and no space to sit around. Bread is held in one hand, the other already busy with something else. Breakfast happens in doorways, on steps, or right in the street. A few bites, a few words exchanged, and then everyone moves on. Eating is just another task, not an event. In crowded apartment buildings, families share what they have. Children tear bread into uneven pieces. Someone gets the bigger half and pretends not to notice. Someone always notices. Cheese is divided carefully. Olives are counted. Nothing is wasted. Conversations are short and practical. Who is going where? Who needs to be back by sunset? Who forgot something yesterday? Wealthier households eat differently, but not by much. The food is better, the setting calmer. Breakfast might happen in a courtyard where light spills in and the air feels fresh. Slaves bring trays with bread, fruit, cheese, maybe nuts. Wine is watered down just a little because Romans do that and no one questions it. People sit or recline, but not for long. This is still breakfast, not a feast. The point is to eat without rushing, not to linger forever. The house is awake now. Plans are already forming. Visitors will arrive. Business will happen. The day has structure and breakfast fits neatly into it. Children eat quickly, eager to move. Adults eat while thinking about money, about work, about who they need to see and what they need to say. Breakfast is quiet thinking time even when voices are present. You chew, you listen, you plan, sometimes you sigh. No one asks why. Where you eat matters less than how. Some eat inside, some outside, some halfway out the door. Rome is flexible like that. The city does not insist on rules for breakfast. It just offers options. Standing feels normal. Sitting feels nice. Either way, the food tastes the same. Morning conversations drift easily. Small talk mostly. Comments about the weather, complaints about sleep. Jokes that are not very funny but still get a smile. Someone mentions a task for later. Someone else groans. The future exists, but it can wait until the bread is finished. In busy households, slaves eat separately or quickly when allowed. Their breakfast is simpler, faster. There is always work waiting. No one sits too long unless they are important, and importance is very clear in Rome. Still, food is food, and everyone understands its value. Even a short meal helps. Children sometimes wander off mid-bite, already distracted by the street. A parent calls after them, "Eat first." They take one more bite and disappear anyway. This happens every day. No one is surprised. Rome has raised children before. Breakfast does not try to impress the gods. It is not ceremonial. There are no long prayers. Maybe a quick nod to routine, to habit, to the idea that the day should go well. Mostly, people trust bread to do the work. As the meal ends, hands brush crumbs away. Water is swallowed. The last bite disappears. There is no clear finish. Breakfast simply fades out as people stand up, step away, and move on. Plates are cleared, trays are taken. Wrappers do not exist, so nothing is left behind except a few crumbs for birds who know exactly where to look. The city absorbs everyone again. Streets pull people forward, shops open wider, voices grow louder. Breakfast has done its job, stomachs are quiet, minds are focused enough. The day can continue without complaint. Intaculum is small, calm, and easy to miss. But without it, the morning would feel longer, heavier. Romans understand balance. Big meals come later. Morning is for lightness, a little food, a little thought, then forward. As the last crumbs disappear and hands are free again, plans settle into place. Work, school, visits, errands. Rome moves on full, but not full enough to slow down. Breakfast is over. The day is officially underway and no one looks back. Morning in Rome sounds different when children are awake. Louder, faster, less patient. Doors open and small feet move everywhere at once. Someone is already asking questions. Someone else is already bored. The day has barely started and energy is somehow overflowing. Children wake early, mostly because everyone else does. In crowded homes, sleep ends when the room wakes up, not when you feel ready. In wealthier houses, slaves gently nudge children awake, helping them dress, smoothing hair, finding missing sandals. In poorer homes, parents do this themselves while also getting ready for work. Either way, no one stays in bed long. Getting ready is quick. Tunics pulled on. Belts tied a little crooked. Hair pushed out of the face. There is no deep concern for style. Comfort and speed win every time. Breakfast is eaten fast, sometimes half forgotten. Children are already thinking about where they are going or where they wish they were going instead. Education in Rome depends a lot on who your parents are. For boys from wealthier families, school is part of daily life. For girls, it is more limited. For poorer children, work often comes first, and school may never happen at all. Rome is practical like that, sometimes too practical. Boys who attend school leave early, carrying writing tablets and styluses. They walk in small groups, talking too loudly, laughing, arguing, stopping for no reason. School is not exciting, but friends help. Lessons usually begin at sunrise because daylight is valuable and teachers like to start early. Very early. Girls from wealthy families may learn at home. Reading, writing, music, household skills. Education is seen as useful but not something that should pull them too far from the home. Poorer girls often learn by doing, helping cook, helping clean, helping raise younger children. Life is the lesson. Learning itself is simple but demanding. Reading starts with letters, then syllables, then full words. Writing means carving letters into wax tablets again and again until hands ache. Counting uses fingers, stones, or boards. Mistakes are common. Patience is not. Teachers expect focus even when students would rather be anywhere else. School spaces are not fancy. Sometimes they are small rented rooms. Sometimes they are open areas near shops or colonnades. Noise from the street drifts in. Vendors shout, carts roll past. Focus is a skill learned the hard way. There are no quiet classrooms, just determination and repetition. Teachers are respected but also feared. Discipline is strict. Mistakes are corrected quickly, sometimes painfully. A rod nearby is not decoration. Learning is serious business and comfort is not part of the plan. Still, not all teachers are cruel. Some explain patiently, some joke when they can. The good ones are remembered long after lessons end. Children recite aloud, voices overlapping, words filling the space. They memorize poems, sayings, and speeches. Memory matters in Rome. Writing materials are limited, but the mind is always available. A good memory is power. Children are reminded of this often. Not every child goes to school. Many work instead. Boys help in shops, carry goods, learn trades from their parents. Girls help at home or in other households. These children learn different lessons: how to bargain, how to carry weight, how to notice moods, how to survive. Their education is quieter but just as real. Some children move between both worlds: school in the morning, work later, long days, short childhoods. Rome does not slow down for youth. It expects participation early. Still, children find ways to be children. Games happen in the streets. Laughter breaks through routines. Someone always finds time to play. Parents watch with mixed feelings: pride, worry, hope, exhaustion. Education promises opportunity, but it also costs time and money. Work brings income but limits choices. There are no easy answers. Families do what they can day by day. As the morning moves on, children spread through the city. Some toward school, some toward work, some toward errands. The streets fill with smaller voices, quick steps, sudden laughter. Rome feels younger when they are around. Despite the rules, the discipline, the expectations, there is warmth here. A hand on a shoulder, a shared piece of bread, a joke whispered during a lesson. Childhood in Rome is not easy, but it is lived fully, loudly, and without apology. By mid-morning, the rhythm settles. Teachers teach. Children learn or pretend to. Others work, copying the movements of adults, slowly becoming them. Rome shapes its children early, but it also relies on them. They are the future, even if no one says it out loud. The city keeps moving. Children move with it, growing, learning, working, laughing when they can. Another morning, another lesson, another small step forward. Morning in Rome means movement. Streets grow busier, doors open wider, voices rise. The calm of dawn has disappeared, replaced by the rhythm of work. Shops creak, carts roll, and the city begins to hum like a living thing. Shopkeepers are often the first to appear. They sweep the front of their stalls, dust off counters, arrange goods with careful hands. Bread is lined up. Olives are placed in neat bowls. Jars of honey catch the morning light. They call out to anyone who passes, though most people are still half awake. Their work is practical, immediate, and entirely public. The street is their stage, and everything must be ready. Craftsmen are busy too, though in quieter corners. Potters shape clay on wheels that spin slowly, rhythmically, almost like breathing. Metalworkers hammer bronze and iron, sparks flying, echoing off the stone walls. Cobblers sit cross-legged, leather stretched across laps, needles moving fast. Every profession has its tools, its rhythm, its language. Some are noisy, some are silent, but all are vital to the city. Merchants arrive in the markets, bringing goods from across Italy and beyond. Olive oil, wine, fabrics, spices, pottery, and sometimes even exotic curiosities. They unload carts, arrange displays, and shout prices, careful to sound fair but never too weak. Markets are social centers as much as trade centers. Deals are made, news is shared, and stories travel faster than coins. Slaves work everywhere, and their presence is constant. Some carry goods, some clean, some run errands. They move quickly and efficiently, often unnoticed, yet without them the city would not function. In wealthy homes, they prepare meals, draw water, and tend to every detail. In shops, they carry supplies, assist craftsmen, and keep the rhythm flowing. Their labor is invisible to many, but Rome relies on it entirely. Work differs depending on class. Wealthy Romans rarely touched tools or merchandise themselves. They supervise, negotiate, and manage. Their mornings are full of conversation, planning, and arranging business for later. Middle-class Romans are hands-on, working shops or small trades. Poor Romans often labor physically from sunrise until sunset, in workshops, fields, or carrying loads through the streets. Children, too, contribute if school is not part of their day. The city itself is shaped by these professions. Stone streets echo with the sounds of labor, hammers on metal, wheels turning, leather stretching, coins clinking. Smoke rises from small ovens and forges. The smell of fresh bread mixes with dust, oil, and iron. Rome's energy is tangible, almost visible, flowing through the streets, spilling into homes and spilling back out again. Every profession has pride in its work. Potters admire the perfect curve of a vase. Cobblers notice a sandal stitched just right. Shopkeepers enjoy a display that draws eyes. Merchants feel satisfaction when coins exchange hands and news spreads along with goods. Even slaves, though bound to the tasks, can take pride in speed, precision, and reliability. By mid-morning, the streets are fully alive. Every corner has activity. Every alley has a purpose. Trades overlap. Markets are crowded. The city feels like a machine, complex and loud, but each part fits together. People bump into each other, call greetings, make deals, scold apprentices, laugh, argue. The hum of Rome is steady, predictable, and full of life. Work defines the day. It structures the city. It separates social classes, but it also connects them. Everyone depends on someone else: baker, carpenter, slave, merchant. Yet every role is different and every person knows it. The city functions because it is full of busy hands, sharp eyes, and moving feet. As the sun climbs higher, the pace slows slightly, but only a little. Some work faster to finish tasks before the heat of the midday sun. Others rest briefly in shady corners. The city does not stop. Rome keeps moving, and the people within it keep shaping it, one trade, one profession, one task at a time. By mid-morning, the city is fully awake, and nowhere is this clearer than in the marketplace. The Forum, Rome's beating heart, hums with life. Streets leading to it swell with people moving in every direction. Local markets branch off from the main squares, narrow lanes lined with stalls and carts. The city smells of everything all at once: bread, herbs, spices, oil, sweat, and animals. It is chaotic, messy, and alive. The Forum is more than a market. It is the center of Roman life, where business, politics, and gossip mingle in the air. Lawyers and politicians mingle with merchants, clients, and laborers. Street performers shout for attention. Dogs weave between feet. Coins clink, leather squeaks, and distant carts rumble over stone streets. The sound is loud, overlapping, constant. Silence feels impossible here. Local markets are smaller but no less vibrant. Stalls spill into the streets, cloth draped in bright folds, pottery stacked in careful towers, baskets of fruit and vegetables so high you wonder if they will fall. Spices arrive in sacks that fill the air with cinnamon, pepper, and faraway scents that hint at lands across the sea. Fish glisten in tubs of water. Meat hangs, already attracting flies. Every sense is busy. Haggling is part of the rhythm. Merchants call out prices. Buyers reply with laughter, groans, or insults. Too expensive. Someone shouts. For you, special price, replies the vendor. Deals are not just about money, they are about skill, reputation, and relationships. Everyone is watching, listening, judging. A good bargain earns respect. A bad one earns teasing. Social interaction is as important as commerce. People meet friends, exchange news, and check up on neighbors. Markets are where letters are delivered by hand, where gossip travels faster than any official announcement, where marriages are hinted at over a basket of figs. Children dodge between stalls, laughing, trying to help or steal a taste of something sweet. Markets are alive in every way, not just the practical. Food dominates attention. Bread still smells warm. Olives glisten, ready to pop in the mouth. Cheese waits patiently in blocks. Fresh fruit is piled high, juicy and colorful. Wine flows from barrels, watered down for practicality but still celebrated. Fish, meat, grains, everything has a place and every smell competes for notice. Clothing and textiles catch the eye too. Brightly dyed wool, rough linen, even imported silks for the wealthy. Fabrics are spread across tables and over ropes, inviting touch. People run fingers along the weave, compare colors, and debate prices. Tools and household items are displayed neatly. Knives, pots, bowls, farming implements, brushes, nails. Rome is practical, but it admires beauty too. Markets are loud but not chaotic in the wrong way. There is rhythm. There is expectation. Everyone knows their place, their role, the way to move, how to shout, when to laugh, when to haggle. It is a performance, repeated daily but never quite the same twice. Children watch closely. They learn haggling, recognition of goods, how to read gestures and expressions. They learn the city itself through observation, laughter, and minor mischief. Markets are classrooms without walls. Slaves move silently, carrying purchases, cleaning, or running errands for clients and masters. They are everywhere yet invisible to many. Still, their presence is essential. Without them, nothing would flow smoothly, nothing would move on time, nothing would be delivered. The forum and markets are also places of contrast. Wealthy Romans pass in flowing togas, their sandals polished, their expressions measured. Poorer citizens navigate the crowd, alert for bargains or scraps. Each group observes the other, interacts where necessary, but the differences are always visible. The city is a tapestry of class, wealth, occupation, and energy. By mid-morning, the marketplace has reached its peak. Voices rise, coins clink, carts rattle, and the smells mingle in a way that is almost dizzying. The sun warms the stones, bringing out the color in fabrics, fruits, and faces. It is messy, chaotic, and alive, and it is unmistakably Rome. Here, commerce and life are inseparable. Deals are made, yes, but friendships form, news spreads, and the city asserts itself. Everyone belongs here, whether they are buying, selling, working, or watching. The marketplace is the pulse of the city. If Rome were a body, this would be the heartbeat, loud, constant, and impossible to ignore. Even as the morning edges toward midday, the energy does not fade. Stalls continue, voices shout, and coins pass hands in endless exchange. The marketplace is alive, full of color, movement, and life. Rome has awakened fully, and in these streets you can feel it most clearly. As the morning stretches toward midday, Rome's streets are alive with more than markets and work. This is when public life begins to show itself. Citizens move with purpose, not just to earn or buy, but to participate, observe, and keep the city running. Even a casual walk through the forum reveals layers of civic life, quietly woven into everyday routines. Legal matters draw people naturally. Courts are held in public spaces. Citizens gather to hear cases, some serious, some minor. They watch lawyers argue, sometimes speaking loudly, gesturing dramatically, trying to sway both judge and crowd. Decisions are announced for everyone to hear. Even those not involved in the case learn lessons about rules, about rights, about what is expected in Roman society. The law is visible, and its presence shapes behavior. Public notices appear everywhere. Wooden tablets and stone inscriptions list upcoming events, official decrees, or announcements from magistrates. People pause to read them on their way to the market or school. Some glance quickly, others study carefully. These notices are how Rome communicates, and almost everyone pays attention. To ignore them is to risk missing something important. Voting assemblies happen too, though only certain citizens may participate. The process is formal, with rules about who can speak, who can vote, and how decisions are recorded. It is a ritual of participation, and for those involved, a chance to influence what the city will do next. Even if a citizen is not allowed to vote, watching or hearing about these events teaches lessons about influence, power, and the structure of society. The patron-client system runs quietly alongside everything else. Wealthy patrons meet their clients, offering advice, favors, or protection. In return, clients provide support, loyalty, and sometimes votes. These relationships are personal, almost invisible to outsiders, but they shape daily life. A simple greeting, a brief conversation, a small gift, each act strengthens social bonds and political influence alike. Rome thrives on these connections. Politics in Rome is not always loud. Often it is subtle, hidden in gestures, conversations, and relationships. A shopkeeper may bow slightly to a visiting magistrate. A merchant may speak carefully to a patron with influence. Citizens learn to read these signals, to navigate social networks as carefully as streets and markets. Participation does not require grand speeches every day. It is woven into the rhythm of life. Even children notice. They hear adults discussing cases, observing debates, or talking about obligations. They see clients waiting respectfully, patrons nodding politely, citizens listening intently. Civic life is everywhere. It teaches responsibility, caution, and awareness. The lessons are subtle but real. Public spaces are more than just meeting points. They are classrooms, theaters, and offices all at once. Decisions are made, alliances are formed, news is shared. Rome functions because citizens, clients, patrons, and officials all play their roles, and the city moves forward smoothly. By midday, the Forum is a hive of civic energy. Merchants, citizens, officials, and visitors intersect, exchanging goods, news, favors, and advice. Legal proceedings continue. Notices are read. Assemblies are prepared. The city functions in layers, each role essential to the rhythm of life. Civic duty is not just about laws or votes. It is about awareness, participation, and engagement. Observing a trial, listening to an announcement, respecting social hierarchies. These small acts make Rome work. Every citizen contributes in visible or invisible ways. Even those who do not hold power are connected to the system, participating in subtle, essential ways. By the time the sun is high, the morning's quiet activity has transformed into the pulse of public life. Rome is alive in every sense. Commerce, conversation, governance, and social interaction all overlap. The city is organized chaos, balanced by tradition, respect, and a shared understanding of duties. Civic life in Rome is calm, yet deliberate. It is not flashy for the sake of show. It is built to last. Decisions, announcements, votes, and relationships all blend seamlessly into the daily rhythm. Rome educates its citizens in responsibility, and in return, they keep the city alive, orderly, and prepared for whatever comes next. By observing, participating, or simply moving through these spaces, everyone becomes part of the same network, connected in subtle ways to the life of the city. In this way, politics is never far away, even for those who seem busy with nothing more than bread, cloth, or conversation. It is woven into the streets, the markets, the courts, and the homes, quiet, constant, and essential. By mid-afternoon, many Romans head toward one of the city's most important destinations, the public baths or thermae. These are not just places to clean up. They are centers of social life, relaxation, and conversation. For Romans, bathing is as much about community as it is about hygiene. Entering a bathhouse, the first thing noticed is space. Large rooms, high ceilings, mosaics on the walls, sometimes fountains trickling water. It smells of heated stone, warm water, and oil. Voices echo, laughter bounces off walls, and everywhere there is movement. People are walking, talking, or simply standing, letting the atmosphere soak into them. Bathing follows a sequence, almost like a ritual. First comes the apoditerium, the changing room. Visitors leave their clothes in cubbies or hand them to attendants. Slaves often help wealthier Romans, holding tunics, sandals, and small personal items. Once dressed down, people move forward. Next is the tepidarium, the warm room. Temperatures are gentle here. Steam rises, fogging mirrors and walls. Muscles loosen. Conversations begin in earnest. People discuss politics, trade, or news. Some sit quietly, appreciating the warmth. Even the quiet moments are shared. There is a sense of being together without pressing urgency. From there, Romans move to the caldarium, the hot room. The heat is intense, designed to open pores and relax the body fully. Water flows from basins, and people pour it over themselves or each other. Oils are applied to the skin, rubbed in, and then scraped off with a strigil, a curved metal tool. This removes sweat, dirt, and oil, leaving the skin smooth. Hygiene is not fancy but thorough. After the heat comes the frigidarium, the cold plunge. A quick dip invigorates the body, tightening muscles, refreshing the mind. Many step in slowly, gasping at the temperature, then adjusting to the shock. The cycle of warm and cold is repeated as desired. Some stay in the caldarium longer. Some enjoy only the cold plunge. Choices are personal, but all follow the rhythm of the bath. Baths are social hubs. People meet friends, discuss deals, or hear news. Philosophers sometimes speak in corners. Children run carefully along edges. Patrons and clients may exchange words here. Everyone is equal in the water, or almost. Wealth determines access to private rooms or additional services, but the basic experience remains public and communal. Slaves work constantly. They carry water, hand towels, apply oil for their masters, and clean spaces when needed. In smaller baths, attendants may perform many roles at once. In larger thermae, teams of workers keep the place running smoothly. Their labor is invisible to most visitors but essential to the operation. Bathing is also about relaxation. After long hours of work, the heat, steam, and water provide calm. Conversations flow naturally. Arguments are rare, at least compared to the forum. People stretch out, sit on benches, and take the day slowly for a little while. The baths are a city within a city, a temporary escape from the streets and the noise outside. Class shapes the experience. Wealthy Romans may have private rooms, better oils, or attendants devoted entirely to them. The middle classes share space but can afford quality oils and decent rooms. Poorer citizens use common areas, sharing benches and basins with many others. Even so, the essential pleasures, warmth, water, conversation, are available to all. By late afternoon, the baths remain lively. Water splashes, voices overlap, and the scent of oil lingers in the air. People exit slowly, refreshed, or at least a little lighter than when they arrived. Conversations continue on the way out, carried into the streets, spilling into the markets and homes. Bath time is an essential part of Roman life. It is hygiene, leisure, exercise, socialization, and observation all in one. For many, it is the highlight of the day, a chance to wash away sweat, dust, and worry, and step back into the rhythm of the city feeling renewed. In the baths, Rome is calm and busy at the same time. Bodies are cleaned, ideas are exchanged, and friendships are maintained. It is a place where the city breathes differently, slower yet connected, open yet personal. The Thermae are more than a building, they are a reflection of Roman society itself, communal, structured, and alive. By the time the sun climbs high, the city slows not completely but noticeably. Midday in Rome is hot, relentless in summer, harsh in winter, and everyone knows it. The streets, so full of energy in the morning, empty a little. Shutters close, doors are drawn, the noise softens. For a few hours, Rome breathes differently. People retreat indoors. Wealthy Romans might lie down for a short nap on a couch or bed, the lectus catching just enough breeze from a courtyard. Their attendants fan them, bring water, or hold a small snack. Even brief rest is treated carefully. Quiet is prized, the kind that feels like a pause button on the city. In poorer homes, rest is simpler. Children stretch out on mats. Adults lean back in chairs, sip water, or fold laundry slowly. Work slows or stops entirely until the sun's heat diminishes. Even if there is no nap, everyone seeks shade, calm, and a moment of pause. The day has more hours to burn, and rushing now is pointless. Shutters and doors are part of this rhythm. Wooden panels swing closed, shutting out light and heat. Stone walls hold in the cool air. Courtyards turn into pockets of calm. Streets empty just enough that the echo of a cartwheel or a distant voice feels noticeable. The city is quieter, not silent, but it has slowed. Some people use the time for quiet activities. Reading letters, writing notes on wax tablets, small repairs, or tending personal spaces. Children draw in dust, play with simple toys, or nap themselves. Even conversation becomes softer, more deliberate, as if the city itself whispers reminders to slow down. Markets and shops take a break. Vendors rest in the shade of their stalls. Carts pause at corners. Animals lie down wherever they can. The energy from morning fades, replaced by the hum of a slower, steadier life. This is a lull, the pause before the city wakes fully again in the afternoon. Reflections on daily rhythm are almost automatic. Romans know the pattern: morning for work and activity, midday for rest, afternoon for trade and social life, evening for family and relaxation. It is predictable but comforting. The sun marks time, the streets reflect it, and the city flows with it. Everyone participates, whether they like it or not. Even the noises of midday have a rhythm: water dripping from a fountain, wind through narrow streets, doors opening quietly then closing. Occasionally a voice calls, but softly, as though respecting the pause. Life is still present, but it moves differently, in slower steps, measured and intentional. Midday rest is practical. Avoiding heat protects the body. Pausing work preserves energy. It is also a chance to reflect. Rome itself seems to take a breath, holding the memory of morning and preparing for afternoon. Citizens, slaves, children, merchants all adjust naturally to the rhythm. By late afternoon, the lull begins to fade. Shutters open, doors swing wide. The city begins to hum again, building toward the next peak of activity. But the memory of quiet lingers. Streets feel temporarily reclaimed by calm. Air moves more easily. For a few hours, Rome has slowed, giving everyone a chance to rest, think, and prepare for the second half of the day. Midday in Rome is more than a pause. It is a rhythm, a shared understanding of time, heat, and energy. It is practical, necessary, and quietly beautiful. The city, alive yet resting, reminds its citizens that life is measured not just in work, but in moments of calm between the chaos. After the quiet of midday, Romans turn their attention to food again, but nothing too fancy. Lunch or prandium is a simple, practical meal. It is not the feast of dinner or the bustling energy of the morning market. It exists to keep the body moving through the day and nothing more. Most often, lunch is built around bread, fresh or slightly stale, sometimes dipped in water or a little wine. It is simple, filling, and portable if needed. Leftovers from the previous day might appear: cold meat, a piece of cheese, olives, or dried fruit. Nothing elaborate. It is food for sustenance, not indulgence. Fruit is common, especially in season. Figs, grapes, apples, and sometimes more exotic offerings if someone can afford them. They are sweet, easy to eat, and do not require preparation. A small drizzle of honey might dress the meal, though only for those with a bit of extra wealth. For most, prandium is plain, straightforward, and quick. Eating is often done alone or in small groups. Workers may pause for a few bites at the edge of a street or in a courtyard. Children nibble quickly before returning to play. Slaves eat when allowed, sometimes sharing food in quiet corners. There is little ceremony, no table set formally, no prolonged conversation. Lunch is a practical stop in the day, not a social event. Unlike modern meals, lunch is not meant to be leisurely. People eat standing, walking, or sitting briefly. There is no expectation of multiple courses or dessert. The focus is on energy, enough to continue work, study, errands, or travel through the city. Meals are functional, not recreational. In wealthier households, lunch may be slightly more comfortable. A few slices of bread with cheese, fruit, and a bit of wine. It might be eaten at a small table or in a shaded courtyard. Even then, it is light. The main meal of the day still waits for later. For poorer citizens, prandium can be extremely simple: bread, perhaps an olive or a piece of fruit. It is eaten quickly, often on the street, sometimes shared with others if resources are tight. Speed and practicality dominate. Hunger is acknowledged, not ignored, but indulgence is rare. Children often have a small portion, sometimes just bread or fruit. It is enough to keep them energized for afternoon play, errands, or schooling. Teachers, if present, provide minimal breaks for food. Discipline and routine take priority over leisurely eating. Food is always practical. It may be eaten with fingers, with small knives, or simply broken off by hand. There are no forks, spoons, or plates as we know them. If water is available, it is sipped. If wine is present, it is watered down. Meals are functional in every sense. Prandium reflects the Roman rhythm: morning activity, midday pause, a quick meal, and then onward. It is part of the structure that allows the city to function efficiently. Energy is restored, nothing more. The day moves on, and so do the people. By the time lunch ends, the streets slowly stir again. Shops begin to reopen, markets continue, and work resumes. The pause has served its purpose, bodies and minds refreshed enough to carry through the afternoon. Life is practical and meals are too. Lunch is a small, quiet ritual, almost invisible, yet it is essential. Romans eat not for pleasure at this time, but for endurance. Prandium keeps the city moving. It keeps citizens alert, children energetic, and workers functional. The day continues, steady and measured, and lunch disappears almost as quickly as it arrived. As the sun begins to tilt toward the west, the city hums with a softer energy. The rush of morning and the quiet of midday have passed, leaving space for something gentler: leisure. Romans of all ages take these hours to engage in calm, simple activities, small pleasures that refresh the mind and spirit before the evening arrives. Some people read. Not everyone, but many literate Romans spend time with scrolls or wax tablets. Letters from friends, poetry, short philosophical notes. Reading is both entertainment and education. The scribbled ink or carved letters offer a quiet escape. Someone might sit in a shaded courtyard, fingers tracing lines, eyes scanning slowly, letting words linger. It is a private pleasure, enjoyed alone or shared aloud with a companion. Writing letters is another common activity. Messages to friends, patrons, or distant family require thought and care. Wax tablets are used for everyday communication, stylus in hand, words pressed into the soft surface. There is pride in good penmanship, in a well-formed letter, in words that convey exactly what is meant. Letters travel by hand, sometimes carried by slaves or messengers. Writing takes patience, but it is rewarding in its quiet, deliberate way. Visits to friends or patrons are also part of the afternoon rhythm. Wealthier Romans stroll through their neighborhoods, call on acquaintances, or make short stops at patron households. Conversations range from gossip to advice, politics to personal matters. These visits are polite, measured, and often leisurely, giving participants a sense of connection and belonging. Even brief interactions reinforce social bonds that matter in daily life. Games provide relaxation, entertainment, and gentle competition. Dice games, board games, and simple puzzles occupy small groups or families. Laughter is quieter than in the morning markets, more controlled, but just as genuine. Children play under the watchful eyes of adults, sometimes learning strategy, patience, or luck. Even small competitions become exercises in social engagement, teaching rules, manners, and fairness. Music and poetry fill homes and public spaces during these hours. Lyres are strummed softly. Poems are recited aloud. Sometimes a small audience gathers, listening attentively while sitting on stone benches or cushions. The tone is calm, reflective, and appreciative. These moments remind Romans that life is more than work, more than survival. It can be beautiful, lyrical, and shared. Simple pleasures dominate: a walk through a shaded street, a chat with a neighbor, a moment to watch children play or animals move through the alleyways. Some pause at fountains, letting water cool their hands. Others watch sunlight dance on stone walls or flicker across mosaics. These small details are quietly treasured. They are reminders of rhythm, stability, and comfort in everyday life. Slaves, too, participate indirectly. They prepare spaces, bring refreshments, or quietly observe the activity around them. Their work supports leisure, even if they do not partake fully. In bustling households, they remain present, attentive, and ready. Their labor allows the city's rhythm to continue smoothly. Even the streets themselves carry leisure. Narrow lanes become calmer as afternoon activity spreads. Voices are softer, footsteps echo less. The city's energy shifts, flowing gently rather than surging. For a moment, Rome seems reflective, aware of its own pulse. Afternoon activities are not about rushing or achieving. They are about presence. Reading a line of poetry, rolling dice with a friend, listening to a melody, or simply enjoying quiet company. These are the small, meaningful pleasures Romans cherish. Life in the city is practical, structured, and disciplined, but it is also gentle when allowed to be. By late afternoon, these simple pleasures prepare the city and its people for evening routines. Minds are refreshed, bodies rested, and spirits lightened. Romans carry the calm of these hours into dinner, conversation, and family time. Leisure is a bridge between the day's work and the night's reflection, a quiet moment to enjoy being alive in the city. In this way, afternoons in Rome are measured, intentional, and gentle. They remind everyone that life is not only about labor, food, or duty. It is also about engagement, connection, and quiet enjoyment. Even in a city as bustling as Rome, there is space for stillness, thought, and delight in the simple pleasures of daily life. As afternoon drifts toward evening, Romans look for ways to step out of routine and enjoy themselves. Entertainment is everywhere, though it is rarely overwhelming or constant. It is woven into daily life in small doses, a pleasant distraction rather than an urgent need. Theater is a popular option. Small performances take place in open spaces or simple wooden theaters. Actors wear masks, voices rise over the crowd, and stories unfold in dialogue and gesture. Comedies make people laugh quietly. Tragedies draw thoughtful attention. The audience watches attentively, clapping or murmuring approval. Performances are communal, offering shared amusement and reflection without chaos or stress. Chariot races are another favorite, though they are experienced differently than we might imagine from grand stories. Horses run, wheels spin, and the crowd cheers, but the energy is more controlled. Spectators lean over barriers, discuss their favorite teams, and watch the skill of drivers with appreciation rather than panic. Racing is excitement, but it is measured, a festive part of city life rather than an all-consuming spectacle. Street performers bring entertainment closer to home. Jugglers, musicians, and acrobats set up near markets or along busy streets. Coins are tossed into small hats, applause is given generously, and a few laughs ripple through the crowd. Performances are brief, accessible, and cheerful. They lighten the city's rhythm and remind Romans that joy can appear in everyday spaces. Entertainment is not just about distraction, it matters socially. It provides common ground for conversation, a reason for people to gather, and an opportunity to connect with friends, neighbors, and patrons. Attending a play, a race, or a performance signals awareness of the city's culture, participation in its life, and sometimes status. It is both enjoyment and engagement. Attendance varies. Not everyone goes to the theater, races, or shows every day. For most, entertainment is occasional, something to look forward to after work or chores. Wealthier citizens may attend more regularly, sometimes bringing small groups of friends. Middle-class Romans attend when possible. Poorer citizens enjoy free performances in public spaces, relying on accessible entertainment that is brief but satisfying. Even simple games or music at home count as entertainment. Children play. Families sing or recite poetry. People gather in courtyards or along streets for small shared amusement. It is informal, gentle, and frequent. These little moments matter as much as larger spectacles. Romans value entertainment for balance. Life is structured, demanding, and busy. Work, study, social obligations, and civic duties occupy most hours. Entertainment offers a pause, a chance to observe, laugh, or be moved without leaving the city or home. It refreshes the mind and strengthens social bonds, quietly enriching everyday life. By evening, entertainment begins to wind down, performances end, spectators return home. Streets grow quieter as the city prepares for dinner and reflection. Even the memory of a short play, a racing bet, or a musician's tune lingers pleasantly. Romans carry these small joys with them, savoring calm and connection in equal measure. In Rome, distraction is gentle, integrated, and often shared. It is a bridge between work and rest, between daily obligation and evening reflection. Entertainment is part of the city's rhythm, not an interruption, and its presence reminds everyone that life, while structured and practical, also holds space for laughter, wonder, and simple delight. As the sun dips low and shadows stretch across Rome's streets, the city begins to shift toward its most significant meal of the day, dinner or cena. This is the main meal, the one that defines evening for Romans of all classes. Unlike breakfast or lunch, it is meant to linger, to nourish, and to bring people together in conversation and company. In wealthier homes, cena can be elaborate. Guests recline on couches, propped on cushions, leaning on their left sides, hands free for food and conversation. Meals are long, sometimes lasting several hours. Slaves serve dishes continuously, moving quietly between the diners, offering wine, bread, and delicacies. Plates are replaced, sauces added, flavors balanced with care. Every detail reflects status, skill, and the pleasure of abundance. For common citizens, dinner is simpler. Families sit on benches or low stools, gathered around small tables or directly on mats. Food is hearty but unpretentious. Bread, vegetables, legumes, fish, occasionally meat if affordable. Wine may be watered down, olive oil used for flavor, and leftovers from the day are common. Even so, there is a sense of care, meals are shared, and conversation matters. The rhythm of eating is deliberate, slower than midday, meant to mark the transition from work to rest. Common foods vary by season and availability. Bread is a constant presence, often freshly baked in small local ovens. Olives, cheese, and fruit supplement it. Vegetables like cabbage, leeks, and beans are popular. Fish from rivers or the sea appears more frequently than meat, which is expensive. Herbs and sauces add flavor, though spices are generally reserved for the wealthier tables. Meals are simple yet satisfying. Reclining is a hallmark of elite dining, but sitting remains typical for most Romans. It affects the pace of the meal. Reclining encourages conversation, slow enjoyment, and relaxed gestures. Sitting keeps meals focused, efficient, yet still communal. Everyone adapts to their space, their class, and their customs, but all meals share the essential quality of togetherness. Dinner is not just about eating, it is about conversation. Stories are exchanged, news discussed, gossip quietly circulated. Families and friends check in with each other. Patrons might speak with clients, and laughter punctuates the air. The meal allows the city to slow down after a day of movement, commerce, and activity. Voices soften, tones deepen, and the focus shifts from the streets to the people at the table. Slaves play a key role in evening meals, especially in wealthier households. They serve food, refill cups, attend to comfort, and remain attentive without interrupting. Their work ensures that the meal flows smoothly, allowing diners to relax fully. In smaller homes, family members often serve themselves or share simple tasks, creating a different rhythm but a similar sense of communal participation. The evening meal also reflects Rome's sense of balance. The day has been structured: morning work, midday pause, afternoon leisure, entertainment, and now dinner. Cena is a reward, a moment to settle, nourish, and connect. Even in modest homes, it marks a transition from action to reflection, from effort to calm. By late evening, conversation slows, dishes are cleared, and lamps or torches provide soft light. The city outside grows quieter. Evening in Rome is gentle, almost reflective, and the meal's warmth lingers in bodies and minds. The taste of bread, cheese, fruit, and wine remains, but so does the memory of voices, laughter, and company. Dinner in ancient Rome is more than a meal. It is a daily ritual, a space for connection, a marker of class and routine, and a gentle conclusion to the day's activities. Regardless of wealth, it offers nourishment, calm, and the chance to pause, reflect, and savor life in the city that never truly stops. As the sky deepens to navy and purple, Rome begins to change. The sun has gone, leaving only a faint glow on the horizon, and the city starts to settle into its evening rhythm. Lamps are lit across streets, flickering against stone walls, casting long, wavering shadows. The soft orange glow creates warmth in alleys and courtyards, a gentle signal that night has arrived. With darkness comes quiet. The clatter of carts fades. The chatter of markets disappears. Street noise softens as most Romans retreat indoors. Doors are closed, shutters swung, and the city grows calm in stages. Even the Forum, once bustling with trade, speech, and movement, empties slowly, leaving only echoes of the day. Night in Rome comes with risks, so citizens take precautions. Some neighborhoods are patrolled by watchmen or guards who carry lanterns and stick close to the walls. Merchants lock up stalls, fastening goods tightly. Families check doors and gates, ensuring that both people and possessions remain safe. There is awareness but not panic. Rome is accustomed to balancing activity with caution. Curfews exist more in practice than law. Citizens tend to retreat once streets become dim, leaving only a few necessary travelers and patrolling guards. Travelers stick to main roads, avoid narrow alleys, and move carefully through the quiet city. Slaves often accompany masters at night or keep watch, providing both labor and security. The rhythm of the city shifts from movement to stillness, yet life is never entirely silent. Some night activity continues quietly. Taverns hum with the last patrons. Lamps glow behind open windows where families gather for conversation or light chores. Dogs bark occasionally, and footsteps echo here and there, but these sounds are small, soft, and deliberate. The city's energy has transformed, from the high tempo of day to the measured heartbeat of night. As darkness deepens, Romans reflect on the day. Conversations at dinner linger in memory. Markets, baths, games, and work fade into thought. There is a sense of conclusion, a feeling that the city itself is preparing to rest. Windows show flickers of candlelight, hinting at people winding down in homes, reading, writing, or quietly speaking. Nightfall in Rome is both practical and symbolic. It signals time to rest, yet also reminds everyone that the city is alive in a different way. Streets empty, lamps glow, and even guards walk with a slower pace. Life continues, but the tempo is softer, more deliberate, and more mindful of safety. By the late hours, the eternal city feels suspended. The hum of work, trade, and social activity is gone. Only the essentials remain: lamps flickering, watchmen moving steadily, and occasional voices reminding neighbors of life still present. The city, so vibrant by day, rests in quiet anticipation of the next sunrise. Rome at night is calm, careful, and contemplative. It is a city aware of its rhythm, of danger, and of its people's needs. As lamps glow in windows and the streets empty further, life slows, footsteps fade, and the eternal city, tired but steady, prepares to greet the next day. Inside Roman homes, night settles differently than on the streets. The city outside has quieted, but inside, life slows in a gentle, deliberate way. Families follow evening routines that mark the end of the day and prepare them for rest, small rituals that are familiar, comforting, and quietly calming. After dinner, some light cleaning or arranging of the home takes place. Bowls are washed, tables cleared, and lamps extinguished or trimmed for gentle light. Clothes are folded or hung. Children may have brief moments of play, soft and subdued, or are guided toward sleep by attentive adults. Even the smallest actions follow a rhythm, practiced enough to feel automatic. Prayers are part of the evening. Romans offer final respects to the Lares and Penates, household gods who protect the family and home. Small gestures, pouring wine, offering bread, whispering words of thanks or hope, provide comfort. These private rituals connect people to family, tradition, and the city itself. They are quiet, meditative, and grounding, a pause before the stillness of sleep. Sleeping arrangements vary. In wealthier homes, family members may recline on beds in separate rooms or share spaces, covered with blankets or cushions. In more modest homes, mats or simple bedding accommodate parents and children together. Privacy is rare, but warmth, proximity, and shared presence create security. Even small children feel held in the rhythm of the household. Slaves, too, follow routines. They tidy spaces, ensure fires or lamps are safe, and sometimes rest nearby. Their work is steady and essential, a quiet undercurrent that allows others to feel calm and protected. Even if not formally part of prayers or conversation, their presence contributes to the sense of order and safety. Night brings distinctive sounds. Footsteps on cobblestones echo softly in narrow streets. Wind moves through open windows or courtyards, rustling leaves or flapping shutters. Distant voices, neighbors, guards, or late travelers carry briefly before fading. The city outside is never completely silent, but these sounds are measured, almost a lullaby for those inside. Inside, the home itself seems to breathe with the family. Walls cool in the evening air. Lamps flicker softly. People settle into their bedding, moving slower, speaking less, listening more. Conversations are brief, tender, or reflective, often about the day just passed or small plans for tomorrow. Children drift toward sleep, guided by parents or older siblings. Adults may lie awake briefly, reflecting, whispering, or simply listening to the quiet. Even in modest homes, there is calm, a shared rhythm that connects everyone in the household. By late night, lamps are nearly out, rooms darkened, and the household has fully slowed. The city outside may still carry faint sounds, but inside, rest takes hold. Sleep is approached deliberately, without rush, with the reassurance of routines, prayers, and familiar surroundings. Nighttime at home in Rome is intimate and calm. It is the close of the day's energy, a pause for reflection, connection, and quiet before the world begins anew. Footsteps fade, wind settles, and the eternal city, seen from windows or heard from streets, continues its steady heartbeat, soft and distant while families sleep. Finally, night deepens and the eternal city rests. The streets are quiet now, empty of the day's clatter. Shops are closed, markets silent, and even the dogs have stopped barking. Fires in hearths burn low, casting a soft, fading glow through windows before extinguishing completely. Rome has paused and the rhythm of life slows to a gentle heartbeat. Only a few people remain awake. Watchmen patrol the streets, lanterns swinging lightly, footsteps deliberate and slow. Their presence is calm, measured, more about reassurance than alarm. Travelers or late returnees pass carefully along main roads, mindful of shadows and silent corners. Even in darkness, the city is cared for, protected in a quiet, steady way. Homes are still. Lamps are out, doors closed, shutters drawn. Families breathe slowly, children asleep, adults finally letting their minds wander free of the day's duties. Slaves, too, rest where they can, lying on mats or leaning against walls, ready for the work that morning will bring. The city's energy is contained, inward, reflective, and safe. Fires dying down mark the transition fully. The smell of smoke drifts faintly in some streets, mingling with the cool night air. It is a smell of ending, of calm, of completion. Roman life is structured and deliberate, and this final pause is as important as the bustling hours of day. It allows the city to reset, to carry on another cycle tomorrow. Even in this quiet, one can sense the pulse of history. Ordinary lives, the bakers, the children, the merchants, the patrons, the slaves, the families, have shaped the city and its culture. Their routines, their conversations, their small gestures of care and connection all contribute to the flow of Rome's story. History is not just battles and rulers. It is daily life lived with rhythm, purpose, and shared humanity. As the city sleeps, the streets, buildings, and quiet courtyards hold these lives in gentle memory. Each stone, each lamp post, each faint echo carries traces of people who laughed, worked, prayed, and loved. The eternal city is vast and enduring, yet its strength comes from ordinary rhythms, repeated every day, every night. Now, with Rome calm and the world hushed, it is time for rest. The city teaches patience, continuity, and balance. Sleep is not just for the body, it is for the mind, the spirit, and for the renewal of life itself. Let the lamps fade, the streets darken, and the last watchmen continue their slow rounds. Rome sleeps, gentle and steady, ready to awaken once more with the first light, the flicker of lamps, and the rhythm of life that never truly ends. The eternal city rests, and in that rest so can we.